If you're considering the MSR Whisperlite, let's take a look at what comes in the kit when you purchase it. Obviously this is the stove and the stuff sack that it comes in. Also comes with an aluminum windscreen for helping keeping the wind from blowing out your flames. Very handy item. And it also comes with a pump. The pump looks like this. This is an older design, but they haven't changed it a lot. And in order to use it, you simply slip it into the fuel bottle like so, and screw down the cap to tighten it. This demonstration is for the MSR Whisperlite. Again, as we discussed before, you've got the stove and you have the fuel bottle with its own valve and pump associated with it. Before you begin using the stove, make sure that the fuel bottle is pumped completely. There's a fill line marked on the bottle. Don't exceed that level. You do need some air in top of the bottle over the fuel so that it will compress properly and allow the fuel to flow. What you will find is when the fuel bottle is either very, very full or getting near empty, you may have to compress the pump more and more frequently to get the pressure up to where you need it. But when you use the bottle, simply lay it on its side with the valve up and the escape valve, or the hole for the fuel, on the lower side. Press the nipple from the stove into the hole so that it mates up properly. Then there's a wire gate that retains the stove properly to the fuel bottle. Swing it around the pump, and there's a notch on the far side that it latches into. Good. The next thing we want to do is to prime the stove. Notice here on the bottom is a small pan for catching fuel and a capillary tube that runs around through the burner. The object of the game is to allow fuel to escape from the bottle into the pan, and then we'll turn it off. After we turn it off, we'll light it. We'll ignite the fuel that's in the pan. That will heat the capillary tube so that when the stove is ready to use, it'll be nice and hot, and the burner will be hit with hot gas, and it will ignite and burn very, very hot and very, very quickly. So let's go through that. Look and listen. Allow a little bit of fuel to escape in the bottom of this pan. You'll learn with time about how much fuel you're going to need. You'll also find that on cold days you may require just a little bit more fuel than on warm days. Then light it. Notice that it's going to flame up yellow. This is perfectly normal. What we're waiting for is this flame to heat the capillary tube so that the other fuel, as it comes through the capillary tube, gets hot. Hot gas is going to ignite and burn very, very quickly. As you can see, I have a little wind here today. It's blowing the flames away from the capillary tube, so it's not heating it as effectively as I would like. So I'll use the windscreen to try to limit the wind's effects on the capillary tube. This will take a minute or so. Be patient. Your patience will be rewarded. What you are looking for is the flame to almost be out, or to have gone out completely. A little bit of gas is escaping around the valve, so I'm going to crack the valve open. The flame was just about out. And what you'll have now is a hot flame on the burner. When it's blue, that means it's up to temperature, and now you can start cooking with it. As long as it's yellow, give it a minute. Let it finish warming up, especially on that windy day or that cold day when you're trying to use it. And as I was trying to demonstrate before, also take full advantage of the aluminum windscreen that comes with the kit to put around your pot and your stove to keep the wind from disturbing the flame. Once it's reached temperature, open the valve all the way. This burner only burns high or off. That's it. So when you're done using it for heating your food, simply turn the valve off. And you do that by turning the valve fully clockwise. And allow the flame to burn out. This will take a moment because there's gas that's still in this tube and here that has to burn off. After it's cooled down, then you can disconnect the fitting between the tank and the stove. Okay, the stove is cooled down. It's ready to dismantle. Simply take the wire gate you put in place before and swing it back around the top of the pump and pull the capillary tube feeder out of the pump, like so. This particular model of stove tends to trap a little bit of fuel inside the line. Simply take the stove and give it a little shake to spill any excess fuel out onto the ground and allow it to sit there for a few minutes and dry out. You can put the stove back away at this point in time. But with the fuel bottle, there's still pressure inside this canister. So what we want to do is to take and open the lid and listen. Allow the gas to escape fully. Once it's fully escaped, tighten the lid back up again. This bottle is now ready to be packed in a plastic bag and stick it back in your pack and ready for transportation. When you're ready to pack away your Whisperlite, it's pretty simple to do. There's one leg that has the capillary tube that comes through it. Simply grasp it. Take the first leg that is clockwise from that, release it from its notch, and turn it to the side. Then repeat the process on the remaining leg until both legs have been folded up tight, like so. Then take the bail, or the gate, and simply swing it around, and you'll notice a hole in the base of the stove. Reach around and hook it into the hole. The stove is now ready to store in its carry bag.